So, 10 years. What can I really say within this time bracket? Job well done? I think I would say there's much more work to be done. So hence the wallpaper and the title. You guessed it, I have been a part of Rachel's Challenge for an estimated 10 years now. I originally found out about the group back in mid-September 2004, and I decided to join literally on November 10 of 2004. This was while I was still doing my work in Boston, while the original Generation 1 of Royameadow was still popular and rising anyway. When I think of how I've changed over the years in terms of my sense of character, I think I have Rachel's Challenge to thank for that. For those of you who are unaware about what Rachel's Challenge is, it is based off of Rachel Joy Scott, of whom was the first person to fall victim to Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold's massacre at Columbine back in 1999. One thing I find interesting about the Columbine massacre is, well, I was actually one of the first people to view the broadcast over here in Boston. I was literally about, I think I wasn't, I was not even 3.5 at the time. And the fact that I was left in the kitchen that day. I remember watching CBS 4 news at the time, which back then was referred to as WBZ4 News. Sick to say, I remember that. I'm getting old. But after I found out about the victims, and then after finding out about Rachel's Challenge a few years later, I thought, this seems like something I would want to join in order to support the victims of Columbine and whoever else is in need of help out there. Later on, I would find out it's an anti-bullying unit. And I won't lie, I was personally bullied over the years by, I'm going to say at least less than 1,000 people at the very worst. For obvious reasons, I would not want to toss out names. There's too many people. There's literally too many people for me to list anyway. So it wouldn't make sense for me to do so, even if I were to think on that. So you might wonder, what have I done during my time in Rachel's Challenge? Well, from 2004 to 2012, at the very least, I had done a lot of, well, actually, for 2004 to 2007, I did a lot of public promotion. I did public speaking with some of the bigger people in Boston. I helped out, work on events and whatnot. I was actually a very handy man. I used to set up some of the events that we would have for anti-bullying support, some other things for other campaigns. We'd also help out the homeless here and there. We'd also help out senior citizens and even talk with the younger demographic. It was a peaceful time, and I will not lie. My time in Boston doing so had made me like one of the top people in my group, which, funny enough, that's usually how I always end up. I always end up as one of the top people, if not the top person. And I feel that if I stuck with Rachel's Challenge in Boston, had I not had to move, I probably would be at a higher rank than I could say now. So I had to, unfortunately, leave the scene back in 2007 because of my moving, and I didn't really have any way in order to do promotion or whatever back then. I was focusing on school at the time. So you could tell that I was pretty much bland for, I'm going to say, maybe a good 3 to 3.5 years. I officially returned to the scene in February of 2011. excuse me, if I could find out, I've got the calendar right here. I remember exactly what date it was, too. I just can't remember off the top of my head, so let's see. 2011, go to February. It was sometime between February 2 and February 16. That's all I could really say. Maybe it was the 8th. It might have been the 8th, could have been the 10th, who knows. But it was early February of 2011, and I ended up becoming the main tech member and the main internet advertiser for the unit in Lynn English Senior High. Contrary to my controversial works and sense of character that I had in Lynn English Senior High, I debatably was the best person that they had there. Unfortunately, at Lynn English, there were a whole bunch of fiascos that were happening in 2012, and that's not necessarily the reason why I decided to leave, but it was one of the major reasons why I decided to leave my post, which meant that tech members were vacant for the group, and internet advertisers were vacant for the group during my side of the scene, and unfortunately, nobody decided to take the spot. Lynn English Senior High's unit lost their greatest member at that point, because as far as I'm aware, the group still does exist. It's just that it never went anywhere following my departure. There was also supposed to be a Q&A session. I think some of you folks out there might know about this if you've been talking with me personally or if you've been checking some of my profiles that have had that topic up for a matter of months before I decided to take it down. But yeah, there was supposed to be literally like this 2-hour Q&A session that would have taken place on this channel on April 20 of this year, marking the 15th anniversary of Columbine, which oddly enough was also, let's see, Hitler's birthday, it's also Easter, and National Weed Day. I'm surprised. 4 events happening all at the same time. Get high with Jesus in more ways than one, huh? Yikes. When I look back at it, though, there were a lot of successes that I ended up having during my time in Rachel's Challenge. I got a few spots in the newspaper in both Boston and Lynn. The Boston articles, I don't even know if they still exist. I know that the articles I have of me and the item, I know those still are laying around somewhere. The main article that I was a part of was for the Chain of Kindness. And at that time, the Chain of Kindness that we had here in Lynn was basically, whenever somebody did a good deed or when you did a good deed, you write your text down, then you write your name just as proof of who actually wrote it. And to be truthful, that kind of went somewhere. The one that I had did a major contribution to was the 2011-2012 season, but the one that we had done for the 2010-2011 season it was a little more than a quarter mile, if my memory serves correctly. I don't know how long the one for the 2011-2012 season was. I think it was maybe between 0.43 and 3/4 of a mile. It wasn't the full mile, of course, but by any means, because, again, this wasn't just Lynn English Senior High's chain that we were talking about here. It was one of the major chains, but then we decided to combine all the chains from the other schools. Lynn Classical had also had it during the 2010-2011 season, but I guess budget cuts had resulted in that going haywire over there, which was actually why I was kind of disturbed that the Rachel Challenge scene was not in Classical when I was there. But that's a completely different story that I don't even know about. If any of you possess any information on that, please do discuss. In the comments, of course. Oh, they put the Hershey's commercials up now. Yeah, usually whenever I do a commentary like this, I like to have my TV on, and yeah, apparently Hershey's is coming out again with the Hershey's Kisses Christmas campaign. I wonder why they're doing it on November 10 of all days, sacred. You would think they'd start doing this, like, after Thanksgiving, but oh well, I guess Christmas came early. But I digress. What else could I say that we had? Let's see, we had the mid-year dinners that happened either on Wednesday or Thursday of each year. It was usually two, one in October, one in March. I was there for at least three of them. I had supplied the music for the majority. Wait, was it three? Yeah, it was three. Yeah, I had supplied the development soundtrack for both, I mean, for at least two of them. I don't know about the third one. I think the third one was, I don't even know whose soundtrack it was, to be truthful with you. It's actually one of the reasons why my music, the mixes that you see on this channel, are actually rather popular here in Lynn, and certain other select portions of the city. I mean, not the city, the state. Here in the North Shore, anyway. I'm not sure about Boston or maybe the South Shore, but if anybody from there has indeed listened to my music, then more power to them. All in all, though, would I say that Rachel's Challenge has been a benefit to my personal life and the lives of everybody else that I've been a part of? Absolutely. Would I still want to continue it? To be truthful, I don't know where my stance in the Rachel's Challenge scene is. I haven't had any work from them in a while. Nobody from the old scene has decided to, I don't know, like regroup and basically do their own things, because everybody either decided to do, I don't know, like low pay work, or decide to go to college. So unfortunately, I'm kind of left here with the wonder of, like, where does the future of the scene go? At this point, I think it's probably best that if I am to continue with the scene, I think for now I'll just stick with the low stuff, basically help out people, deliver compassion wherever, which is what I usually do on a normal basis. Prevent bullying where and when possible, assure that everybody is happy, assure that kindness is spread wherever. If there's any mishaps, make sure that those mishaps are completely abolished and improved for all the best reasons. And just make sure that the lives of the people are content. I'm sorry if you're thinking that I'm planning on saying anything major here, or if I'm pausing a lot. I'm just trying to think of things to say, because, like, don't get me wrong, I do have a lot to say about the RC scene. It's just hard to keep in mind of every single little detail, given that my most major work in the unit was primarily for 5 to 6 separate years, with a few gaps here and there in between. Maybe it's a good idea for me to start talking about maybe like some of the people I worked alongside, especially in the Lynn English unit, because the people I work alongside are people that I've known for between, let's put it out there, about 5 to 7 plus years. These are people that I've been friends with for practically my entire life here in Lynn. Which, again, my life here in Lynn is like September 4th, 2007, going all the way up to the present day. And had it not been for some of these people, I don't know where I'd be right now. Like, don't get me wrong, some of them I've got distant relationships with. I haven't talked with some of them in a long time. Some of us, we get along so well that we're able to pretty much, like, talk about anything, do anything together, work on any kind of material, you name it. All that I wish, however, is that you folks, and you all know who you are if you are watching this video, I would like to do more material with you like anything's a go. I don't mind what material we work on together. I don't care who we help out or what makes us who we will be in the future time. But one day, I assure you, anything that you have to bring to the table, you folks are like, well, if you've known me for this long, then you know that I feel that you are important. You have helped my life and also helped me improve not just myself but everybody around us. And it's people such as you who deserve to stick around me forever. In the event that we ever meet again, wishfully we do more things than just, well, talking and making projects. Wishfully we could take our plans and help everybody in the world, not just a small group, not just a group of 12,000 that bring you entertainment every matter of weeks or so. It's really hard to think of stuff when you, like, I don't know, I guess I have commentator's block again. But I guess it's not a bad thing. I guess it's just a way of me saying that, hey, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my time in Rachel's Challenge. I'm grateful for my time along with the people I've worked alongside. And wishfully, I hope that in the event that we do ever see each other again, that these memories could continue. There's no better group of people I would ever want to work with, aside from those that I have in my unit. Heck, given my power as the top head administrator in this group, within Royameadow and Company, I would not mind merging the two scenes. It would be well worth the time, and I presume that a lot of things could be done well. But that's another story for another time. I really don't know where I could continue on with this topic. But wishfully one day things will change for the better. Not just for me, but for all of us. And this recorder's about to lose its battery power, so I'll finish things now. It's been a great 10 years. Here's to another 10. All of you in Rachel's Challenge, I hope you keep doing what you've been doing. Keep making people happy. Make the world a more peaceful place to live in. I'm Roya Rockwood, and I shall see you for something new. Check the coming soon splash screen at the end for more.